Hello, viewers. We are back from our break with my friend and my distinguished guest, Solomon Davidoff. Yes. So we are discussing the success of the realtor, right?
Yes.
So they have to have a process in place. They have to learn, make themselves upgrade with the real estate knowledge.
Yes.
And also they have to be a people person. They have
Correct.
to love people because this business always deal with people.
Yes.
You know, day in, day out, every day, different people, good people, bad people, but everybody is good because they are coming to you and me. They are trying to give us money. If you cannot keep it, it's our fault.
That's our fault.
Yeah, our fault. So now we want to go to like buying process because my viewers they want to know. Maybe some of them is a buyer. Like for a buyer, right? What do you advise them? Like what this market, your
Absolutely.
experience?
Absolutely. Well, first things first. You want to know, or at least have a small idea of what you want. Right? Everybody wants the mansion. Nobody wants to pay for it. I want the same thing. But first things first, before calling Mr. Kabir to show you any house, speak to a mortgage consultant first. Because sometimes we think that we can afford $1 million property, and when we actually go to the bank, they say, well, you can only qualify for 500, right? So we want to make sure how much is, everything starts from the foundation. How much money you have in the bank? Are they seasoned in the bank? Right? Just from experience, I'm not a mortgage professional, but been doing it for so long, I already know the steps. A lot of people are in business and they have cash money, right?
Cash
But they don't show to the taxes, which is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
The problem becomes when you want to buy a house, you have to make sure that either collect gifts, right, gift checks, or just go to a mortgage professional. They will guide you how to properly be qualified for a proper loan. And there are different programs out there. There is a no income verification program where the bank does not ask your income, proof of your income. You put a little bit higher down payment, but there's no income verification. You show your license, your credit is good, off you go. There are other program which is full doc. It's called a full doc, all the
W2.
documentation, your W-2s, your pay stubs. Great if you're in medical school, any profession, meaning when you get W-2, banks like that. They want to make sure that there's a track record of your employment. And also they look at what your debt is. You have a car payment, you have a child support, you have a college loan tuition, if you credit card debt. They calculate per month how much money are you costing yourself and how much money you're making and what's your debt to income ratio, DTI. And when you know the pre-approval, once you get the pre-approval, don't get pre-qualification, don't waste your time.
This is garbage.
Yeah, I can print it out from my printer as well. But get pre-approved from actual banker who will run your credit, look at your full financial history, and they'll tell you, okay, Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so, you are qualified for X. From that, you will have an understanding. You'll go to a mortgage professional, just Mr. Kabir, and say, okay, here's my pre-approval. And by the way, the sellers will also take you a lot, not only the sellers, the realtors will take you serious because you're not a newbie walking off the street into the office.
You're a shopper, you're a buyer.
Right, exactly, you're an actual buyer. Because when you spend time with the mortgage consultant discussing your credit, your income, and your entire financial history, that means you took out the time out of your busy schedule to do it. That means you're serious enough to purchase something new. Then you'll go to a realtor and say, okay, here's my pre-approval. The realtor, when sending out offers to the sellers, will also back their offer with substantial documentation. Here, my buyer is an all-cash buyer. My buyer is a 50% down, a 20% down, whatever it is. But at least it will save a lot of time and headache for the seller, for the realtor, but it also saves the headache for the buyer. A couple of years back, after COVID, we all thought, I thought the real estate is going to crash. Yeah. Nobody's showing. Interest rate recently went up, doubled, right? 7.5. And I'm thinking, why the real estate is not dropping? Everybody's waiting for the prices to plummet. We took a break. 3 months. Everybody was in the panic mode, all the buyers, and then later realized that hey, the real estate rates, the mortgage rates are not coming down. So we still need shelter. Right? There's two things. Is always going to be a necessity for any human: food and shelter.
Food and shelter. Yes.
Always will be. Always was. Always will be. So people went back shopping. And the problem is because there was not enough inventory on the market, the prices not only halted, they actually went up.
Yes.
So you go to Long Island, Ojai Park, Floral
yeah.
Park,
This
anywhere.
is
Open house had lines out the door. You remember,
Yeah.
right? So now,
2 blocks.
right, 2 blocks,
3
and,
blocks.
you'll stand in the rain with the umbrella and snow because people need to buy a house. Here's the problem for all the viewers that listening. If you haven't done these steps, such as speaking with mortgage consultants fully, thoroughly, to know exactly what your numbers are, you are now competing with those 40 people out the door waiting to buy the same house as you are. And often enough, I've seen a lot of houses went above asking, 20,000, 40,000. We sold a house in Smithtown, 80,000 above asking. And the buyer was keep going up. It was our buyer. It was a completely different agent's listing. And I said, okay, I said, Joel, what will make it, make it or break it? I need to know. I don't want to waste time, your time, my time. Realtors, just like attorneys, just like doctors, have their own conversations among themselves, right?
They
We all have understanding. So, Solomon said 80,000 above asking, the deal is yours. I called my buyer, he says, no problem, do it. That's how hungry they are to buy the house, because it's of a necessity to be in a specific neighborhood. When you want to be in a specific neighborhood, this is what you're going to be facing, So that depends.
And another thing, when you're dealing with buyer,
Yeah.
I notice like, as an agent, you're sending an offer.
Yes.
If you send the offer with high earnest money,
Okay.
instead of 3%, you put 5%, 10%.
With earnest,
right?
okay.
Yeah, so it looked good. Proof of income, your last 2 years W-2 or most recent paycheck, and pre-approval, right? That makes a seller like, wow, this is a legit, and he has everything.
Yes, but not only that, imagine you sending me an offer from one of your viewers, right? They'll call you after the show. So I want to buy a house. How much? 700,000. Okay. You'll send me a piece of paper, Mohammed Kabir, Keymax Realty, offer this, down payment. So what do you want me, that I represent the seller, right? I'm the listing agent. How do you want me to present your offer
To the seller.
to the seller with this one piece of paper? The seller's going to sit and say, Solomon, what are you showing me?
Nothing there.
Well, tell me about the buyer. Right, so as a listing agent, I want to know everything there is to know about the buyer, because I want to make sure that this offer gets presented. And the selling agent has to do the same thing, has to know that if he or she is presenting an offer, you have to say, look, my clients that saw your house, by the way, and you can say if they were home, oh, they love your picture here, or your dog, your cat, whatever the story is. By the way, they love it because they have 2 kids, both husband and wife working, doing this, doing that. Connect with the seller, because oftentimes it is an emotional process of selling. There are always 2 people in the family, husband and wife. One is logical, one is emotional. That's always been, always will be.
Always.
There's always
That's
logical
the-
emotion.
There's a life lesson.
The logical person will attract to, or, oh my God, they have 2 kids. I want them to continue in the house. Oh my God, they're going to enjoy my pink wall that I painted with this, whatever the reason is. The logical one, so okay, Mr. Kabir, show me the numbers. A, B, C, D. How much am I getting? When can I close? Where am I going? So both of them have to be, it has to be a match made in heaven, because you have to cater to the emotional side and to the logical side. If you can just go there, I had a deal where the wife said, oh, they're going to gut my house, meaning renovate. I'm not selling. The husband says, I want the perfect number that we want. He says, I'm not selling. They're going to destroy my this. They're going to destroy my that. She canceled the deal
She's very emotionally.
because she was emotionally attached to it. She grew up in that
Spent
house.
her life there. I mean,
That's why.
Creating every little thing.
Yep.
It's like when you're breaking it, you're breaking their heart.
Some people don't care.
Yeah.
Some really take it to
Some
heart.
people take money and
Yeah,
say,
that's
like,
it. They
it's their
give me the
house, do
money.
whatever they
I'm
want.
out. Yes,
You know,
yes,
but
that's
it's-
true. But no, but if you're financially ready, not to waste your own time, not to waste the realtor's time and anybody else, I think you should. Any buyer must be financially ready. Back in the day was how much is the house. Nowadays, the reason I want them to speak to a mortgage broker is not for only how much they can afford. Nowadays, they ask, how much going to be my monthly payment per month?
monthly payment,
With the rates of 6.5, 7, if they come down, great. But if they don't, at this rate, how much would be my monthly payment?
My monthly payment.
Besides the food, besides the car payment, besides the this, that, how much am I going to pay per month? Plus taxes, insurance, and carrying costs of electricity and so on and so forth.
They need to buy a house what they can afford, and enjoy.
Correct. The last thing you want is for them
Yeah,
to
last
call
thing
you
you
and
want,
say,
you struggle
I
to
can
pay the
afford, and
mortgage.
then you foreclose it.
Yeah,
Of course, nobody wants
that's
that.
sad. So what my friend just said, that you need to prepare yourself. You're gonna have DTI, what he just said, debt to income. So all your income you put together, you minus all your debt, and then see whatever the left. And then you do a mortgage calculation. You can do it anywhere. You can Google it, like check.
You
my
can
mortgage.
download an app.
Yeah, an
You
app.
can download an app.
And then you can see, like, are you truly, you are ready to buy a house
Mm-hmm.
and ready to buy a home and enjoy. Because the last thing Solomon wants and I want to buy a house and struggle. You don't need to do that. You rather
That
wait,
is true.
prepare yourself 100% and then buy a house.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
because, I know you're the king of a listing agent. When I drive on Jamaica State, everywhere, I
Thank
see
God.
a picture.
Thank God.
So now, let's see, maybe some of the homeowners watching our show.
By all means,
So
we'll help out.
what's
He'll be
your-
the buyer agent. I'll be the listing agent.
So what's your process of listing a home? What do you do? Like share for all the realtors out there so they can pick some gold nuggets
Okay.
and be successful like you.
All right, I'll share. I
You,
don't
you,
mind.
you don't need to be more successful. You already have it.
God
enough.
willing, God willing, God bless. I'll share them also. I don't mind.
Okay.
Well, first things first, like I said earlier, if this is your area, learn it. Understand it. I tell you, many years ago, I took a training, and I was fresh and arrogant a little bit. The trainer said after the training classes, do me a favor, let's go for a ride. I'm thinking, wow, the trainer wants to go on a ride with me. That's
Wow,
good.
that's cool.
I put him in the car. We're driving on the block. He says, where do you work? I said, so and so. The training was in Northern Boulevard here in Bayside. In the
Oh, that-
Adria
that-
Hotel. Adria Hotel.
I got my license from there.
Oh yeah,
too.
okay.
Yeah.
So the training.
NYREI.
Yeah, yes. The training was there. So I took the trainer. He says, "Where's your area?" I said, "Fresh Meadow, Jamaica." He says, "Let's go." I'm driving down. Says, "Okay, turn here, turn there, go in your blocks." And I went on. And says, "Okay, do me a favor. Who lives here?" I said, "I don't know." He said, "What about here? What about this house?" "Oh no, I sold this house." "Oh, what's their name? Who was the seller? Who's the buyer?" And as we're driving, I started realizing, and he pointed it out. He put me in my place very quick. He says, if this is your neighborhood, and if I drive with you in the car, I'll point to a house. You need to tell me who are the owners, how many years they live there, do they have kids, are they divorced, what's going on? Tell me about every single house. You want to be a master? This is the way to go. And I'm like, wow. It was like a light bulb in my head.
Right, yeah.
So today I can take you on a tour in Jamaica Estates, and more like 80%, not 100, 80, 85%, I can tell you, I think almost every house. I met Bob Knuckle. He's in commercial real estate,
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
in the city.
Number one.
Yeah, so he
The
opened
big-
up his
big-
own.
the big man,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was.
He opened his own company,
he
right?
opened up his own recently. He was with Knuckle Realty. Bob Knuckle and was a partner. Not good with names, sorry. And
I listened to his.
so one thing he says the same thing. He says, in the city, I walked the blocks of every single city block. I took down building addresses. I want to know how many units, and it's a lot harder. Here you have a one family, two family, right? There you have buildings. How many units? Is it a co-op building? Is it a rental building? How much is selling per foot? Is it a condo building? How many condos? What are the amenities? Every single building, and there are thousands of buildings. And you go to his map room, and you'll quickly starting to realize that, wow, this is a true professional. So when it
And
comes
you
to
know, I'm going to stop you there.
Yeah.
I visited his map room.
okay,
He even have highlights.
yes,
What he
where
sold.
he sold, yes.
And I'm like, holy cow.
Yes. So imagine here's the I'm going to come back to the same thing. What's your why? What drives you? What's your passion? If you're passionate about this, you'll do amazingly. If you're not passionate about this, yeah, you'll make a couple of bucks here and there, but it's not really what you want out of your career. You want to leave a legacy. Now, another thing, if your realtors are listening, you're in real estate not just to help others, but sometimes you gotta
Help yourself.
help yourself. So when you in real estate, I'll ask you, how much real estate do you have? Some people say, well, what do you mean, how much real estate do I have? I have this listing. I said, no listing sales. How much real estate do you have? Because you get into real estate not only just, of course, to help others, right? This is what we are. We want to help others. We want to help to cater to the public, but at the same token, you want to help yourself and leave a legacy, or this is your 401k, retirement, whatever you call it. You want to own buildings after a while. You learn how to do it through process also.
Yeah.
Think we should leave it for the next show.
2 days ago, Friday, a gentleman walked into my office. He wants to sell a house. I said, okay, I check it. R7 zoning. So I
Yeah.
said, like, Papa, how much you want? This. Okay. Call the attorney, get it done. You
That's
got
it.
it.
Good.
You know, so
And that's-
what
and
he
that's-
said, own the real estate. If you didn't know it's R7 zoning, you'll never bust for it, right? You know what's in there. So that's what the education part.
Yeah, well, you have
for
to know.
realtors.
You have to know. If you, especially if you want to build, you know, you get a group of friends together. You guys want to develop, and if there's R6, R7s, R8s, you want to concentrate on
The
those
gold.
houses. Yeah, and then either build or do approved plans and sell it. Whatever it is, there's a lot of money on the street that you can utilize to yourself. Of course,
You
of
can do
course,
so much.
absolutely, absolutely.
So,
But selling process is
Yeah.
a very different than buying process.
so you
have to
just shared
understand
one thing.
Yeah.
You have to know the neighborhood.
You have to know the
neighborhood.
neighborhood. Then you have to really understand the seller prices in the neighborhood. You know, price, not only prices, meaning not just asking prices, like in Jamaica Estates or Fresh Meadows or Cambria Heights. Cambria Heights, Fresh Meadows, back in the day, they would build 40 by 100 cookie cutters. I think it was one developer. So more or less the houses are the same.
You know how realtor gonna get helpful? Let's do a role play. Let's say I'm the homeowner.
Okay.
And you get for listing.
Yes, put him
So
on the spot.
Yeah. So let's help them. I have a house in Jamaica State.
Okay.
Let's pick a number.
Okay.
And then I call you. So you walk in.
I walk in, all right, so the first thing,
Let's
of
do a
course.
little role play.
First thing, I'll tell you very simple. Very first thing, I admire the house that I
Okay.
walk through. Back in the day, I would tell the homeowners as soon as
No,
I
do the
walk
role
in.
play. I'm the real owner. You're the agent. Let's do
All
it.
right, not a problem.
Okay.
So in the beginning, what
Yeah.
I would do,
Hey, Mr. Solomon, thanks for coming to my house.
absolutely,
How
hey, thank you
doing?
for having me. Good,
Uh-huh.
good, I'm good, thank you. So first thing, let's go sit down, right? We'll
Okay,
we'll
let's
sit
go
down to
sit-
the kitchen.
you-
I'm
you-
not looking at the house.
Yeah.
So back in the day, I used to look at the house.
Yeah, now you just
First. So now I started to understand. I said, I want to know what's your why in selling, right? I want to talk to you. I want to get to know you first. I am pretty sure I can sell.
I want to move to Miami.
That's good.
I'm tired
so,
of
so
New
I
York.
would sit at the table and say, okay, so tell me a little bit about yourself.
Okay.
And usually what I do in the office, which for the viewers, I would Google the people.
Okay.
Sometimes
Wow.
you walk into a house, you see Mr. and Mrs. Wachukowski. Okay, big deal, right? The last name. You Google them more or less, and you see all of a sudden this guy is the CEO of this or CEO. You want to get to know that. That is what differentiates from you from this
other-
agent to that
the other
agent. You walk in and says,
Wow.
you know what, I like your paper on so and so and so. He's like, well,
how
you're
you-
going to catch him by surprise. You're going to say, what? Like, yeah, you know, so my business is all about people connection. I want to make sure that if I'm connecting with you, that I can cater professionally to you. Right away, you took out 90% of the agents waiting outside.
Yeah.
90%.
Because you're already connecting.
You're already connecting, okay? So, and then I would say, okay, so tell me about your plan. And you would say, okay, I want to
Yeah,
move
I
down.
move to Miami and I will
Miami,
sell it
okay, not a
as soon
problem.
as possible.
Well, okay, so tell me your time frame, whether it's
Yeah,
0
30
to
days,
6
60
months.
days, yeah.
Wow, that's very quick.
Yeah.
So you have a place over there already?
Yeah, I already
Oh,
got
great,
an apartment.
great.
the
Apartment.
down payment.
Whereabout in Miami?
Yeah, because it's hot. You know, I hate cold.
You have, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're going to Sunny Isles?
Yeah.
Nice, very nice. Good area.
Yeah, thank
It's a
you.
very good area, actually.
Thank you.
Very nice. Okay, well, the first things first.
Mhm.
After you and I will do, as I call it, icebreaker.
Yeah, icebreaker.
I want to take a look at the house.
Okay.
Because I know every single house, though they were built the same, more or less, in the 50s, 60s, but every single house offers a completely different character. How many bedrooms, the layout, where the bathrooms are, kitchen, maybe you've updated something that I would have probably not paid attention to. You installed cameras or speakers. So I want you to point out to me. Fair enough? Good. And then,
That's good.
and then we'll go take a look at the house.
Is all done?
After,
And,
yeah,
price.
after, now, so when I'm looking at the house, I'm paying attention. If this is my area, then I'm paying attention what type of house, because I already know who I can bring, because it's
sell
my
it.
area.
Yes.
If I'm going to area that I just pick up a listing, I'll look at the house, I'll take notes, right? But then I'll use this to build a flyer, build a marketing plan towards it. But if I'm looking at the house, I'm like, oh wow, I know somebody wants 5 bedrooms. After this, and I'm putting their names. So when I'm sitting down with you later on, 50% is already sold, meaning because I know who would like this house, because when you're in the same area over and over and over, you already have orders of this for this house, for that house. So we'll go through the house, and I will come back to you and say, okay, lovely house, by the way. You know, how many kids you raised here?
Yeah, 4 kids.
4 kids.
How
Wow.
big they
Wow.
moved
Wow.
out.
Where do they live now?
They one in California, one in Bahama, everywhere, all different places.
So you selling to travel, basically.
Yes, yes.
Very nice, very nice. Listen, I don't blame you. Why not? Why not? You know, the reason I ask, because, you know, for the most part, today, people like yourself are moving out to retire, right? You outgrown the house, or maybe it's too big for you, and you want to downsize. The consumers that are coming in here, they are new families, 2 kids, 1 kid, maybe just got married, maybe 3 kids. They want to create the memories that you've created, but for themselves.
Wow.
That's why it's very important
That's
for
nice.
me to kind of see the house, not just for the amount of bedrooms that you have, but what your house has, because a lot of times a purchase is an emotional process as well. Right? You know, a wife comes in, she wants to look at the kitchen.
Right.
Husband comes in, wants to look at the bathrooms and bedrooms. So whatever the reason is, what will motivate them.
Yes.
Your house, I've seen, has a lot of features that I think they're gonna love it. They're gonna love it. So, and then again, we go to, and,
Yeah, we'll go
and then
to
I'll
the
tell you,
marketing process.
and I'll tell you, okay, let me tell you a little bit about myself.
Yeah.
And it's important because I need to sell myself in a way that, let me tell you about myself and the company, where I come from, what motivates me as a broker to sell, to help. And next
Then
episode.
It's sold. So, the director is calling me. We finished our
Cut it
time.
short. Okay, not
Yeah?
a problem, not a
So,
problem.
viewers, we had so much information today. Yeah, you can watch it on ATV USA, on ACN Cable, Facebook Live, or YouTube Live. You should watch this today's episode. It's so much information here. You should watch it over and over, so you can gain a lot of knowledge. And near future, very soon, Solomon and I, we're going to do some other activities. So it's going to help the buyer, seller, and the realtors.
Anytime.
And for today, before we end, do you want to say anything to my viewers?
I want to thank you for having me on the show. Okay, viewers, this individual is an amazing character, very warm-hearted, very given. If there's any questions you have, you don't need to even do business with him. You have just questions, call him. He'll help you out. If you decide to do business with him because of his personality, do it. But amazing individual. I wish you a lot of success. And I know in your new endeavor. I was there in 2004, 2005 when I opened up my brokerage. It's not easy. It's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of work as well. But thank you very much for having me on the show, and I hope that you guys got some insights of how we do what we do. You know, there's a lot to it, but hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
So, viewers, we have to end our show today. Wait for us next episode with another guest. And thank you for watching. Good night.
Good night.
And
Good.
You and I,
All right.
we can talk 8 hours.
That is true.